In today's 10-minute openings video, I'm going to be teaching you the basics and the fundamentals of the Queen's Gambit Declined. This is an opening you play with the black pieces against, you guessed it, the Queen's Gambit, played with the white pieces, 1d4. And we're going to be starting out with the mainline moves that black can play against the Queen's Gambit. Of course, this means you will not be taking this pawn, and we'll move on from there. The first move, and the most well-known move that you can start out with the Queen's Gambit Declined, is the move e6. e6 is what starts out what we call the Slav defense, which is where it's almost, think of the London system, but with the black pieces. So you have these pawns on light squares, and then you put the dark square bishop on d6. Now, let's say that white tries to play like a Catalan. You can play this move, bishop to d6. They go here, you move the knight out. Okay, here, now you're ready to castle. And you can also make this move, c5 in the future. Okay? Now, one very common move that there are two moves here that white can play. Here they can play the move bishop to g5, or they can play the move bishop to f4, which is helpful when this bishop is here. But in this case, if I'm playing with white, I play the move bishop to g5. You do not have to take, okay? Because in a lot of cases, a bishop is better than a knight, so you're fine making this trade. And here you can castle. And what you'll see now most commonly from white is this move, either e3 or e4. Okay? e4 is helpful when this e-pawn has enough defense where it cannot easily be taken, right? So here, this is a good option for white. Okay, now we've got a knight and a bishop attacking a knight with one queen. Now you can bring in the knight to d7, and if they take, this is a good position for you, and they have to make a decision where to put the knight, right? Now, I am going to back this up just a little bit. And let's say you castle, and they go e3 instead. They go e3. The engine likes this move, knight to d7 also. Okay? Now let's say they play bishop to d3. And let's say we have the trade now. Now, you have the trade, now what? Now, because it's white's move, white will probably castle, and now you want to take the pawn. Take the pawn, and now, let's see. The engine wants you to take the bishop, which the engine is thinking that it's black's move. Okay. Now, what I would recommend here from black is either fianchetto with vision over here, okay? Or bring the rook and go e5. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Let's say rook to, oh, it's actually black's move. Here, let's say rook to c1, and you go here. Okay, if you take here. Okay? Actually, you don't want to take there. Okay, sorry. This is a bad thing for black because you don't want to go e5, right? Because then we have the trade, and then this. Okay, you don't want that. You do not want that. Please don't play that. I'm sorry. I was not paying attention. Okay. Rook to e8, and now you have to think of more stability for this pawn if you want it to go to e4, right? So you have to think of a piece or a pawn that can be there. Okay. Here, another possible move after, let's say, rook c1, you can play the move c6. Okay? Or you can play the move c5. Trade here. Let's say you trade queens and everything. And now you have the open file. And if they try to trade with you, you can go here and connect the rooks, bring the rook, and you're doing well. Okay? You're doing well. Now let me get a new board. Okay, now that we have a new board, let's say we have the normal Queen's Gambit stuff. And okay, so we talked about e6. But here, there are a couple other possibilities for black, okay? So besides e6, we also have c6, we also have knight to f6, And those are the main things, right? So we talked about e6. Let's talk about c6 and knight to f6. We're going to try and fit this in as as quickly as possible, but also touching on it thoroughly. Now, knight to f6, let's start with this. If white takes, which this actually does happen sometimes, and we trade all the pieces like this happens not very often, but it does happen. You're not doing too badly, okay? Not as badly as you might think, because you lost a center pawn. Here I'd recommend going bishop to e6, and then fianchettoing, not like that. Sorry, like that. Fianchettoing with this castle, and then bring the knight out. Okay, that's what I recommend if you have this whole trade, which again doesn't happen very often. Now c4, knight to f6. Let's say they try and go for Catalan. Again, you have both center pawns, so you want to have pawns in the center, right? But if you go like here, or you go here, which don't go there because you block your light square bishop. Okay, so get the bishop out first. If they attack you, that's a bad move because you just take. Get your light square bishop out first. And then if they try and fianchetto, which is one of the main moves of the Catalan, then you can go here. And your thing now is kind of what they were trying to play with white, okay, which is in their case e3 and bishop to d3, but here you're going to play e6 and bishop to d6, right? Here, 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 and I mean, still you don't want to play that, so let's say they play knight to c3, and now you castle. And if they go here, again, still bad for them, because you have this pressure, you can play this, or, sorry, not that. You can play this, rook, preferably with rook to e8 first, and I mean, this is a nice position for black, okay? Against a very open series of moves with white, okay? So this is you're not doing too badly here. Okay, let's go back and let's cover the other, like we talked about knight to f6, but what if they don't go for this? What if they don't go for normal Catalan and play like this, okay? This is mostly going to be on the Catalan, but like, what if they go, more, they try and hit you like that, okay? That's probably not a very good move because you just lose a pawn, but let's say this, and I don't know, they try to go like this. Still, I mean, you're still good. You have these pawns connected. You can get this bishop out. You can bring it out, then castle. You can connect the rooks. And I mean, this is great position for you. The main thing when playing the Queen's Gambit declined is paying attention to how white plays, because there's different moves you should play based on it, based on if white plays a Catalan, an open Catalan, if they exchange. So keep that in mind. Now let's cover the final series of possibilities for black, which is c6. Okay. Now we're gonna white is in this case going to go with the same variation. So I mean, we're gonna go like this. Let's say they play bishop to f4, and you're gonna go with the Slav. Okay, the Slav is a nice variation, or nice idea. And if they trade, that's fine. If they want to castle, you both castle on the same side, and now you can white can push, white can take, whatever, but it's your move. So here you can go knight to d7, and you have the rooks connected, right? And this is a pretty nice position for you. Again, this is not always how it's going to turn out for every single game. This is just to give you some ideas on how to play it strictly from, like, it's the first time you've ever heard of this opening, or you've seen some people play it but you don't know what they're playing, or something like that, okay? It's just a beginner outlook on this on this opening. So hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these beginner opening courses, and check out the other episodes in this playlist. I'll see you all for the next 10-minute openings video.